Welcome back. Another big drop on Wall Street today. This after Apple warned of lackluster sales due to weak demand in China and a lot of other economic issues. We're all over that in this market, but also we've got the 116th Congress now in session with Speaker Nancy Pelosi taking a gavel and right now vowing unity, but telling NBC that impeachment is not off the table. So what can we expect in 2019? Meanwhile, the media taking every opportunity it can to blame President Trump for everything. This time it's Apple's news last night. In fact, check out this headline. It's from Bloomberg. It came out right after Apple's news. Apple's China trouble makes Trump's trade war harder to defend. Really, Bloomberg? I mean, the issue couldn't possibly be that Apple has mismanaged its own business or China's economy was in trouble for a long time. Now, the question is, should Trump really stop fighting for the American worker because China's economy is in trouble? Joining me now, the chairman of America Fighting Back, Herman Cain, is with us. You know, listen, I know that these Wall Street elites and folks like Mike Bloomberg don't like President Trump. It's just so frustrating for me as someone reading these headlines, knowing that individual investors are reading them. They're so misleading sometimes. The idea that President Trump would give up on the trade fight because Apple sales are slowing in China.
Charles, I couldn't agree with you more. Here's what a lot of people are forgetting. We are not in a trade war with anybody, including China, but we are in trade negotiations with everybody. Unfortunately, some investors see every minute move by a single company as a trade war. It is not. Secondly, Apple is a big company. They didn't just corner the market, they surrounded the market. And everybody's trying to get a slice of it. Their market value is over $600 billion. I'm not worried about Apple. That's not we don't have a trade war. This president is doing what he said he was going to do, which is to restructure these trade deals with whomever so we can have a better level playing field. That's how I see it, the same as you.
Well, here's the thing. Paul Krugman, in his latest diatribe, says the 2017 tax cut has received pretty bad press, and rightly so. Its proponents made big promises about soaring investment and wages and also assured everyone that it would pay for itself. None of that has happened. I'm not sure how you can say that when the facts are simple. Fixed business investments, higher. Wages, higher. GDP, higher. I mean, but this is in the media. This is from one of the liberals' favorite economists saying it as if these aren't factual events that have actually happened.
The reason he says it, Charles, is because the liberal media let this liberal wacko economist get away with it. When I was at lunch, a friend of mine brought me a copy of the 2017 1040 short form and then showed me the 2018 1040 short form. And we also looked up, just because we were eating chili and it was good and having beverages, we figured out and looked up the fact that under the old system, over 26% of the people filed the standard deduction in the short form. Under the tax cuts that were led by President Trump, it has soared to 92%. Now, the 92% of the people are benefiting from this tax plan. All of the people who keep whining about nobody gets help but the rich, they are simply lying to the American people. And yes, I said, they are lying to the American people, including Paul Krugman.
No, I will say I do take issue with members of the Trump administration who keep feeling the need to sort of chime in, if you will. Just moments ago, Kevin Hassett kind of bragged about China's warning and said, don't worry, there'll be more American companies that issue the same warning. I feel like they're winning this thing, Herman. I just think, you know what, you're winning. Stop it. You don't need to layer it on like that because it makes you sound like, first of all, like you don't have a heart. And secondly, you could blow it.
I would agree. I agree with you that they should stop chiming in on every little nugget, every little news bite, every little new news line. I'll tell you when I'll make my judgment relative to the China-U.S. relations. March 1st, didn't the president say to the president of China, said, give me 3 months. They're still working out the details. This is not a simplistic issue or a simplistic set of issues that we're dealing with. They are very complex. So I agree. The White House should just be quiet, and the investors that get nervous, they simply should just wait until March 1st. Then we can evaluate whether or not we have a better deal with China.
All right, Herman, you got to invite me to one of those lunches with that delicious chili and beverages, because I'm always hearing about them, and I'm a little jealous.
You come to Atlanta, and you'll be my special guest.
All right. I will be there sometime this year for sure, and I'll look you up. Hey, thanks a lot, Herman.
Got it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles.